If someone had to look after my health, I knew it would have to be me. I'm Jean-Marc, the founder of Infinite Alignment Therapy, and I understood from the early age, if someone had to look after my health, it had to be me. I had to be dedicated. I was fortunate to be born into a beautiful village in the French Alps in the south of France, where life was very good. We were a child, we have no TV, we were always outside playing in forest, we were surrounded by river, mountain, forest, nature. The bird was singing around. It was absolutely beautiful. We were really happy there. And bear in mind, at this time, it was no TV. It was only one telephone for like 500 people. Life was different. People, they had the time to do things. People, they were following the season. People, it was really like agricultural place. And everything we were doing and everything everybody was doing, it was according to nature cycle. I remember one evening we had the doctor came home. It was in autumn, going to winter. And he said, you have to take this pill to prepare you for the winter. This pill was brown, small like that. And so I gave that to my sibling and gave one to me. But I cannot swallow it. I cannot swallow that. I don't know what it was. And I need to know what it was for me to take it. And it's only later I discovered this pill was a vitamin D to prepare us for the winter. My sibling took it, despite my father was pouring some water into my throat how much I can cope with it. This pill was still there on the tongue and it doesn't go down, it's going out, spit it out all the time. So I knew from this day, and I make a promise, when I was 4 years old, 4.5 years old, I make a promise, I will make sure I know everything before it goes into my body. I make a promise that no chemical will enter my body without me knowing. And that was a big fight, and a big fight with my mother, with my father, because I was, they said I was difficult, but I need to know what I was taking. It was for the sake of my body. So around from the age of 5, I went to school, but that was very difficult for me because I found myself stuck in a room for all days, and I have to obey. I have to listen what the teacher was saying, despite I was not interested. I was looking outside through the window. I can see this beautiful weather, blue sky, sunshine. Bird was flying around, and I was just miserable in this classroom. It was a big classroom, was 45 students, every different level, but I was not fitting into it. Maybe not mature enough, or something was happening. I started to develop, from day one, I started to develop a bit of a melancholy, and also I started to develop a skin disorder called psoriasis. This psoriasis invade my body from top to toe. I was covered. My body was covered, front, back, everywhere. Obviously, my friend at school was laughing at me, and that was not helping. But doctor had a very good idea. He said, why not taking this child out of the school for the period of time he will need, and see what and how the psorrhea is going to behave. And it happened I was 6 months out of school, and that was great. That was with my father. I was on building trade, on building site, and wandering around where I want to be, and with nature, and by the water, and this. So I found my life back, and slowly, psoriasis started to disappear. It was working better than any medicine they tried to give me, because I was not taking it. It was another stress taking this medicine. So from there, slowly went back to school. Things start to get normalized again. And one day, as I was playing outside with my mother, I went into the barn, and in the barn there was the hole where we used to feed the animal during the winter. And I went through the hole, and I found myself so scared. And when I opened my eyes, I was facing a big head of the cow with the big eyes, big hair. Said, "What's carry on here? Where I am, I cannot get out now." My mother was calling me, and I cannot answer. I cannot speak. My speech disappeared. I cannot answer my mother, and that was another trauma. So how it going along? These things slowly start to fade away, but was always there. This stammer was there all the time, and that was also not easy to play with my friend and all this sort of thing. So, but I work on that. I work hard on that, and by the age of 13, these things start to disappear, and it was hard work. So as I grew up older, I worked more and more with my father, learning the trade, passed different degrees, and become also a master builder. From there, I was also qualified as a mountain leader. I was doing a lot of rock climbing. Ice climbing was my best thing. All the winter I used to do ice climbing. And the time at the end of the winter, beginning spring, we used to give us a tap on the shoulder and said, "Oh, we are alive again, and we escape, and we're still there." Life was very good. I had everything. I had my company, I had a lot of booking, I had my family, I had the sunshine, skiing. Sometimes I used to escape during the work. I would say to my father, "Okay, today I'm not going to be on site. I will be climbing, or we go in the mountain for a couple of days, do some meditation, do some learning, healing through nature." And nature was also my father, my mother. Nature educated me. Nature was the place where I feel safe, I feel understood, I feel happy, really happy there. It was a place where nature is an incredible healer. You are there, doesn't matter what you feel, how you feel, you can cry, you can scream, you can laugh, and you realize at the end you are peaceful. Somebody listens to you. The birds still, doesn't matter what you're feeling, but the birds still singing and the sun still shining or the rain keep raining. So, but something with all that was missing. This inner voice was telling me, look, there's something you have to do and you have to discover other stuff, other things. So I met some friends in the village and they bought a place there, renovated. They were an English couple, and I realized how much I want to learn this language, this beautiful language. Was, you know, French is okay, my patois was there too, so already bilingual, but I need to add it something different, and English was fascinating me. So one day they invite me, they said, look, we're leaving, and if you want to come with us. My father was retiring, and said, okay, yeah, I'm coming. I leave everything behind and I'm coming. And I arrived in this beautiful country in England without speaking a word of English and no knowledge about anything. And it was a challenge, but it was a challenge for myself. I was not engaging anybody else, only myself, and I was ready for it. So yeah, here being the most, I remember the first 18 months was very, very tough. So from there I set up a building company with a multi-million project. It was fun, I used to love it, a lot of passion, and building it's still my passion. Despite being very, very busy in the building with all my projects, I was always finding the time for meditating and to build my healing, because that was my direction, to have my healing place and business. So, but something really beautiful happened during this time in the building trade. I met my wife. I was looking for an architect, and my wife was an architect, and we met up. And since we are together. One day I decide, building trade, yes, fine, but I don't want to be there anymore. I want to be eating, I want to do my meditation, I want to have the time for myself, I want to enjoy and bring this new passion to the light. You know, in life, when you start to lose passion on something and looking for it, I think it's the time to move to something else. And that has been happening with my company, in my building company. I was losing my passion, and the healing and meditation were taking over. So one day I decided, draw the line, sold the company, and move on in a different direction. That's when Infinity Ironman was born. Infinity Ironman, it's a unique healing modality which stands out from other therapy. Why? What's so special about Infinity Ironman? Infinity Ironman, it's received the 4 spheres of light, which they are on the right side of the body. It's a very powerful healing tool, which is bring lot of strong energy into our body and keep our body healthy. With Infinity Ironman, I created and built up a very successful practice. I'm also a qualified naturopath. I studied naturopathy with Robert Masson in France. From there I went to study homeopathy with Roland Salanès, and also I studied with Bruno Donatini the gas detect therapy, which is about also working with viruses and bacteria, understanding the whole gut world and all what is about fermentation and so on. So that also bring a lot of ground for infinity alignment. When we work in the healing business, it's not only just looking after one side of the body, but we need to understand the whole body. That's why it's an holistic therapy. I invite you to go to my website, read more, and see what Infinity Alignment can do for you. For now, it's the end of my story, but remember something, it's just the beginning for Infinity Alignment.